This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Very pleasant good evening and welcome to Small Biz Florida, alias Startup Talk, with Mr. Tom Kindred from IRSC.
Thank you, sir, and welcome to another segment and installment of Small Biz Florida, brought to you by the Florida Small Business Development Center right here at Indian River State College. Small Biz Florida is designed and produced to create awareness for the business assistance programs available right here at our very own Indian River State College through the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute. We will spend time during our hour together this evening to highlight entrepreneurial success, best practices, and discuss all things business around the Treasure Coast and the state of Florida. I am Tom Kindred, and I serve as the Regional Director for the Florida SBDC at IRSC. Underwriters for this segment of Small Biz Florida are the Florida SBDC at IRSC. So, Greg, how are things? I understand big night on the court last night.
We survived capacity crowd.
Nice.
It was awesome. Place was rocking. Yeah, it was great.
I can't believe I missed that.
102-68 win over Broward.
Broward. That's a big school, big nemesis.
We've never had a game like that against them. Yeah,
What was the score again?
102-68.
Wow.
18 3-pointers. It was unbelievable.
You said
and a Gatorade bath.
And I was going to say, you said came with a Gatorade bath.
Yeah, Charlie.
I'm a little surprised that our athletic director was he out there immediately scrubbing up the Gatorade. He's very particular.
He was doing
about
that
his
during the game. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Scott's very good about his gym.
Well, it was great. It was sophomore night, and it was great. It really was fun. Yeah.
Okay. Is that it? Are we done? Or no? Now we must we probably must go to some sort of state tournament.
On the
or something?
Miami-Dade, as far as the ladies go, it is win Saturday or go home.
Oh.
Yeah. So they've got to beat Miami-Dade. If they beat Miami-Dade, they're going to the tournament with the guys.
Wow.
So yeah, it should be fun.
And that's here?
No, we're in Miami. On Saturday.
Are you going down? You're calling the game?
Yeah, both
Nice.
games. Yeah.
Okay. All right, nice. As I always tell folks, again, it is we're kind of at the end of the season, but I will tell you, it is a lot of fun to participate and come out and watch Pioneer Athletics. It's real collegiate athletics and never usually any charge to come in the gym and watch a basketball game, and they really are a lot of fun.
Softball undefeated, nationally ranked. Oh yeah. The ladies are really hot. They're doing great.
I think Bob snuck out the other day and walked across the street and watched a little bit of a game. I usually would go with him, but I was probably prepping for a Small Biz Florida show. Maybe that's why I didn't.
You
go.
what?
I was probably doing research for this show. I'm sure is why I missed.
Yeah,
probably
right.
didn't go across the street with him to watch that game.
I believe that.
Again, got a lot of good stuff coming up. Really do have some good, really new, innovative stuff coming up in terms of training. Just want to spend a couple of minutes talking about that. But before we do, I want to introduce, got two really nifty guests here tonight. One is an entrepreneur, business owner, a very unique business. Can't wait to talk to her about her business, Southern Salt Therapies. We have with us standout entrepreneur and good friend. We've got Laura Varnes. Welcome to the show, Laura.
Good evening.
And we also have with us, as always, got a standout professor in the sociology department, and he is an economics professor. And really, wait till you hear about this program. Unbelievable program going on. Unbelievable speakers going on. Can't wait to talk to him. But we've got Professor Stephen Dansky with us tonight. Professor.
For having me. It was a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Can't wait to talk about both Southern Salt Therapies and the upcoming Economics and Business Roundtable. But As always, very quickly, I want to just update some folks on some really, new and innovative programs coming up in terms of training. We are partnering, the CCTI is partnering with Yamaha. Everybody knows Yamaha. We're all in the boating world around here in Fort Pierce. They are launching a marine training program with over a dozen boat manufacturers and repair facilities such as Pursuit, Maverick, Twin V, and of course the Treasure Coast being a big recreational boating center. And the industry's growing at over 20% per year. The CCTI has begun a training program, a marine training program. The training will prepare students for high-paying, high-demand jobs in the industry. Students will have an opportunity to work towards Yamaha factory certifications. Topics will include theory and engine operation, maintenance and light repairs, as well as general knowledge and skills. The classes will probably be held about twice a week. We've got some subject matter experts that'll be teaching all kinds of topics in that in the marine industry. And again, really an innovative class. I encourage people who are looking to get in the marine industry. This is a great place to start. They're looking to start that program pretty soon, like February, I think next week. So I would encourage people to reach out to the CCTI and talk about that program if it's something you're interested in.
And what Bob mentioned a little bit earlier today, that program will be repeated in the summer.
Oh, absolutely.
Which makes perfect sense for boating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're looking to get some young folks that may come out of high school graduation and be looking for a career. So again, in our region, makes a lot of sense. And a lot of young folks grow up and have an interest in boating. So it really is it's an appropriate training program for our area. Time management for stress reduction. Personal time management skills are essential for professional success in any workplace. Those able to successfully implement time management strategies, which I probably am not, but I need to take this class. I keep threatening to take this class.
We both do.
Yeah. Are able to control their workload rather than spend each day in a frenzy of activity, reacting to crises after crises. Stress declines and personal productivity soars. I'm going to have to sign up for this. These highly effective individuals are able to focus on the task with the greatest impact to them and their organization. It is time management for stress reduction. Great instructor, new instructor with the CCTI, Michelle Miller. That class is going to take place on February the 26th at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. At the main campus right there in Fort Pierce. We've got another round of the Port St. Lucie Business Accelerator Program launching on March the 9th down at our St. Lucie West Pruitt campus. Again, incredible program. 12 nights. I think Laura was was a graduate of the BAP program.
Yes, it was amazing.
Yes,
it was really
look
good.
at there. Testimonials.
Yes.
So, again, incredible program brought to you by the city of Port St. Lucie. Really, had a talk with Elijah Wooten today, who kind of heads that up for the city of Port St. Lucie. So we're grateful to the city of Port St. Lucie. Innovative leadership, political leadership down there, understanding that they need to support the small business community. So they are basically paying for this class. It's an excellent opportunity for a small business owner and operator in the city of Port St. Lucie to take advantage of the program. 12 nights of training for a whopping $25 is the only investment from the business. And again, the city of Port St. Lucie kind of covering that for us. Something new that we're trying to do at the SBDC, we're doing what we call the Smart Start SBDC orientation. It's just a 2-hour class, trying to offer it at least once a month where folks can come in, kind of learn about the SBDC. If they're thinking about starting a business or thinking about getting engaged with the SBDC, it's a great opportunity to come to an orientation program, kind of learn what's going on. Catherine Colhane is going to lead the next Smart Start orientation on March the 12th. That's a Thursday evening down at the Chastain campus. And then, as always, we have our very popular photography class starting on the Chastain campus March the 10th, and led by Denise Russell and Howard Stickler. Great photography instructors. So incredible programs coming up in terms of business workshops and training right there between Pruitt and main campus and Chastain.
Where do we find you on the web?
That's right. You find us at www.irscbiz, that's irscbiz.com. And if you go up there and click on that events calendar, I promise you will be surprised and impressed with all the workshops and trainings that are going on around the 4-county area, brought to you by Indian River State College and the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute and the CCTI and the SBDC. All right. So lots of stuff going on in terms of training. So with that, I want to turn now to an incredible program. Saw this a couple of weeks ago and said, we got to have this professor on the show and talk about this. It is the 2020 Economics and Business Roundtable. It's all being brought to you by Professor Stephen Dansky, who is an adjunct professor of economics right here at Indian River State College. So again, welcome to the show, Stephen.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So let's start with a little bit about you. Give us a little bit of your background and kind of your pathway to Indian River State College as an economics professor.
Well, let me say that it's the pathway here was a very simple one. That when I retired, I came down to the Treasure Coast. And what's the college here on the Treasure Coast? Indian River State College. I think the more interesting question is, after 5 years of having a blast teaching at the college, is why am I still doing it? And the answer is
well, because you're having a blast.
Yeah, I mean, the support that I get and the support that all of the staff, all the professors get is phenomenal support by the administration. And as a faculty, it's just been great working together as a team. Let me just give a little shout out here to the Indian River Foundation. They've been great at supporting this roundtable conference both this year and last year, as well as to our dean, Scott Stein. I mean, he has been just supporting this very strongly.
Nice.
And so a little shout out to both of them. And so, we have this great, camaraderie among the staff, and the staff has a diverse background. I mean, we have professors who are steeped in theory. We have professors like me that have come out of industry and diverse industries. And as a result, the students really get a diverse education from different viewpoints. And we also have great students. And I just want to say that if any of my students are listening right now, let me remind them they have a midterm coming up. And the marginal benefit of studying right now is higher than the marginal benefit of their listening to me.
Let's let them finish the show. Let's let them finish the show.
Yeah, they need to weigh their opportunity costs.
Right.
If they have a ratings book, stay with the show.
Yeah.
Right. Well, give us, real quickly before we move on, tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah,
what did you come out of? Which industry?
I came out of the energy industry. And I'm going to tell you that the energy industry is constantly changing. And that's the theme of this conference, is change. All the change that has happened and all the change that's about to, befront all of us. And so for me, I started out as a nuclear engineer. And in fact, I helped design and build the plant on Hutchinson Island way back in the 70s. And then after getting my MBA in economics, I went from being involved with nukes to then getting involved with waste energy. And as the deregulation of the electric industry took place, from that into cogeneration, wood chipping plants, hydroelectric plants, and then I got converted into a natural gas guy. And I was now learning a whole new area because, again, the whole energy industry was changing. And having a foot in economics and having a foot in engineering and having a foot in electricity, and I'm running out of limbs.
Wait a minute,
here,
how many feet do you have?
I'm about 5'9", yeah. What I found was I found myself in a very unique place where I was able to be only a handful of people in the entire country who could speak the various languages of these various segments of the industry, of the energy industry. So it worked out fortuitously, and then wound up starting my own business in the natural gas industry with deregulation. I was the first to jump into independently owned natural gas storage, an area where only utilities had done stuff before. And then I started up an electric transmission company. And again, we were the first to jump into a segment of that previously only electric utilities did. So I had a really exciting career that really involved economics and engineering and regulations and staying ahead of the curve, because all the change that was taking place, doors are opening and other doors are closing, and you got to stay ahead of it.
Yeah, no
And
doubt.
that's what I'm trying to bring to my students, that they got to be aware of all this change.
Tell us a little bit about actual degrees at the college. What can a student, in terms of economics, are there some degrees that they can get in economics, or is it more just part of a gen ed degree that they get?
They got a couple options here. One, most of the students who do take economics are doing it as part of a gen ed state requirement. Which I thank the state of Florida, because I'm a big believer in a diverse education. If you're going to be creative, you got to have a diverse education. And so we have students who are taking economics who have majors, running the whole gamut. But we do have a lot of business students who are also taking it. And you can major in economics and get a 2-year degree in economics at the college, which will then slide you in to one of the, particularly some of the other state universities where you're able to get your 4-year degree in economics.
Nice.
So we are preparing them for that.
Okay.
Where is there a real good econ school close by?
You're looking at it right here at Indian River State
Oh, I
College.
know that, obviously. But when you go on to your 4-year
Oh, I think all the local Florida universities are great. I've looked at a number of their programs, whether you're talking UF, whether you're talking FSU, UCF, they all have really solid economics programs. Whether they want to then take that and, say, steer into another direction, such as going, say, for an MBA or into finance, or whether they want to pursue even a more advanced degree in economics, and those schools have it.
So let's talk about the 2020 Economics and Business Roundtable. The times they are a-changin'. Senior leaders from some of the nation's largest businesses share their thoughts on changes affecting American business, skills required for our future workforce, and careers of tomorrow. Is this the first year to do this? Have you done this for the past couple of years?
This is our second year, and last year it was a hit. We had a much larger turnout than we expected. And, when you succeed at something, you're being told you got to do it again.
Right.
And so we're doing it again. This year, let me say it's Monday, this coming Monday, just a few days from now, on the 24th, 1:30 in the afternoon, on the main campus. So for those who aren't familiar with it, that's on 3209 Virginia Avenue. Is going to be in Building V, which is the Kite Center, which is a great place to hold a conference. And it should last about an hour and a half. It should be about an hour of the panelists talking. And then we're going to open it up to everyone for questions and answers. And last year, the Q&A session was rather robust. And then everyone can meet the panelists and talk face-to-face with these senior execs. And it's a great way for the not just students, but also people in this local area who have small businesses to exchange information and learn from those who have really a global, view of what's going on out there.
The event's open to the public?
It's open to the public, and we highly encourage the public to come. It's free. It's casual. Don't be shy. Don't feel like, this is a university. Do I feel intimidated about being there? No, come on in. This is open to everybody. And the more the merrier.
Talk about some of the speakers. Kind of tell us who's going to be on the panel.
Yeah, we have 4 people who have some really amazing experience. Let's start with Dr. Crimmin. Sue Crimmin just retired as Vice President of Research with GlaxoSmithKline. We're talking one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, and she was in charge of overseeing over 100 research scientists in 3 different countries. and she's going to, give her perspective of what's changing in the business world. We have a gentleman, Bob Purcell, who recently retired as the head of worldwide sales for John Deere. And, his experience in terms of what's going on. In fact, I know he's going to be talking about, for example, the impact of tariffs on, say, a company like John Deere, who purchases a lot of steel. And what does that mean for their workforce and their ability to compete? We have Randy Groom, who is out of the aviation industry. He used to be executive vice president of Piper. He used to be president of Beechcraft. He's now running his own firm. And, like, for example, this week he's over halfway around the world helping an aircraft company arrange financing. And then we also have Dr. Lomax Homier, who extremely impressive. I mean, she has spent roughly 30 years here in Fort Pierce as an OBGYN. She has been on a number of committees. She now oversees the regional medical school for Florida State University, and she's also on the board of Indian River Hospital. I mean, very impressive. And so, when I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago and we were chatting about the changes taking place in the medical industry, I mean, it's amazing, all the changes. And this is really important to, not just everyone, but even, say, someone who's running a small business and you're having to deal with healthcare. There's a lot of changes coming.
Yep.
So, again, the theme here is change.
So the event is free. Public's
free.
invited. It is on IRSC's main campus at the Kite Center, which is the V building, kind of at the rear of campus, right there off of 35th Street. Everything gets going at 1:30 Monday, February the 24th. Incredible panel of very knowledgeable folks with remarkable business acumen, and it really is a great opportunity to better understand what's happening in the economy, tap into the experience of business leaders, and ask your candid questions of the panelists. How does one get more information about the event?
They should email me.
Okay.
And my email address is sdansky, SDANSKY, at irsc.edu.
Okay. Do they need to RSVP? Is there a place to register, or you just you'll just take them as they come?
We're going to take them as they come. No need to register. No need to RSVP. There's welcome signs out there.
Okay. It is the 2020 Economics and Business Roundtable, again here at Indian River State College, brought to you by Professor Stephen Dansky, an economics professor right here at Indian River State College. Stephen, great program, great work.
Thank you.
I will be there, 1:30.
Hope to see you there.
Yeah, so who knows? We may do a show or something from the...
Great idea.
You never know where Small Biz Florida may show up. So, again, that's Stephen Dansky, SDANSKY at irsc.edu. You can email him, and if you need some information about it. But it all starts Monday, February 24th at 1:30 p.m. at the Kite Center on main campus. Stephen, thanks for taking time out tonight to talk about the event, and great work.
Once again, thank you, and it's been a pleasure.
Okay. And with that, we're going to take just a quick break. Stay tuned. We're going to be back with more Small Biz Florida and our good friend Laura Varnes and her business, Southern Salt Therapies. You're going to want to hear about it.
The tradition of winning continues at the River with our ladies softball squad with head coach Dale Atkinson. IRSC has won 17 Southern Conference titles, 3 state championships in its 22 years here. IRSC softball was 2002 national champions. Most important, 95% of its student athletes have received their degrees. IRSC's tradition of winning continues on the softball field.
Looking to build a technical career with good pay and growth opportunities? Then register today for the Indian River State College's Marine Training Program. Hi, I'm Bob O'Brien with IRSC's Corporate and Community Training Institute. The Treasure Coast is a booming center for both boating manufacturing and recreational use, and the industry is growing over 20% per year. The Marine Training Program at IRSC will prepare the student to enter this high-demand field and work towards Yamaha factory certifications. Course topics will include theory and engine operations, maintenance and light repairs, as well as general knowledge and skills. Join a growing industry and start earning more today by launching a career in the high-demand field of marine engine and repair.
CCTI at IRSC Marine Manufacturing courses begins soon. For more information, call 462-7630 or visit irscbiz.com.
Indian River State's tradition of winning continues on the baseball field with Coach Frank Torrey. He's an institution in South Florida high school baseball, leading Dwyer to 4 district titles and 1 state championship. Coach Torrey hopes to equal that feat here at the River. His father was a World Series champ with the Milwaukee Braves, and his Uncle Joe is a Baseball Hall of Famer. The tradition of winning continues at IRSC.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
And we are back. For those of you just joining us, this is Small Biz Florida, brought to you by the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute at Indian River State College. I am Tom Kindred, the Regional Director for the Florida Small Business Development Center here at IRSC. And we've got with us good friend and innovative entrepreneur and business owner, Miss Laura Varnes, founder and owner of Southern Salt Therapies. Again, welcome to the show, Laura.
Oh, thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, got to get introduced to your business when you were in the Business Accelerator program down at the Pruitt campus, brought to us by the city of Port St. Lucie. And I got to tell you, I mean, really innovative, impressive business, Southern Salt Therapies. So I can't wait to kind of talk about what you guys do and the innovative way you do it. But start us with a little background on you, kind of your pathway to entrepreneurship and kind of creating Southern Salt Therapies.
Sure. So I was born and raised here in St. Lucie County. Actually went to high school here at Lincoln Park and met my husband there. So we've been together for 20 years. We have 2 kiddos.
Would you get married when you were 2?
I wasn't even going to say it. I know.
I'm not going to reveal my age, but let me just say I graduated a long time ago.
Yes. Yeah.
So I actually was a sick child growing up. I spent a lot of time at Gainesville, even though I am definitely a Knoll. That is my alum.
Okay.
But,
Well, that's all right.
but let me just say, I worked for the University of Florida a long time, so I understand. I can definitely handle. I had a great time at Shands. They were very good. So I was a sick child growing up, spent a lot of time at Shands in Gainesville, and I really never really healed or recovered after middle school. So when I got to college, I kept going back to the doctor and saying, look, I still don't feel right. I still feel, it was more like borderline autoimmune at that point. Because I had transfusions and all that stuff.
Wow.
So by that point,
How old were you then?
when I had my surgery,
Yeah.
I was in 5th grade, so 10-ish.
Wow.
I had major surgery there, stayed in the intensive care for a while. I mean, it was a constant going back and forth from here to Rockledge, because there was a satellite office there, and then in Gainesville. So by the time I got to college, like, my immune system had never been the same after the surgery. There was just a lot of health issues that I kept noticing, especially allergies, that kept coming up. And the doctors were like, your numbers are great. There's nothing wrong with you. And in college, I had asked my parents, I was like, look, there's something wrong. Like, I'm running a marathon and I can't breathe. I'm trying all these things. I eat really healthy and I just can't figure this out. So I went to the Mayo Clinic. My parents were like, all right, we're just going to do a whole panel check in one day. And the doctor's like, look, there's nothing wrong with you. It's got to be psychological. So, and I'm sure so many people have heard that over the time. So, when there's nothing statistically to prove, you go to natural medicine, right? Because, that we naturally go to look for that Band-Aid to fix what we have. But really, I learned through nutrition. I went in, my major was in dietetics. So I learned the value of nutritional eating to heal the body. So that's kind of where it started. And I ended up going to work for the agriculture department here for quite some time. I did a lot of education there with nutrition. And then I went into education where I taught at the school, and I was able to teach nutrition at that point too. So it just kind of became, all right, where's my niche? What gap can I fill in the community? And how can I help people heal naturally and find the root of the problem?
So we're not going to Kentucky Fried Chicken after the show.
That's up to you.
Yes. So talk about salt therapy. I mean, what exactly is salt therapy?
So one thing I majorly struggled with throughout high school was allergies. And most of us do in Florida. We are exposed to a lot of mold, whether in just our houses, anything like that. So I was allergic to a ton of stuff. Being raised in agriculture, hay, horse stander, all of these things that were around 24/7. So I was getting allergy shots up until college, and I knew that it wasn't helping. I had reactions with them. I had actually stumbled upon salt therapy in my 30s, so it took that long to get there, and I have not had to have any allergy shots since. My son, who actually was born with some allergies and eczema and that type of stuff, once we opened, has not had to have any kind of medication. And his eczema, if it does flare up, it's very minor now, which if you're a mom and your child does have eczema, it can be a big deal. I mean, it can be life-altering if it's really bad.
And again, kind of explain to us, for those of us who have never, and I've had the opportunity now to learn a little bit about what you do, but explain to us how it works. I mean,
Sure.
How do you get exposed to the salt?
Sure. So we do have the salt rooms. We have private family rooms just for parents to go into with their children. And then we have an adult room. And so we do have the aesthetic part of it, which is pink Himalayan salt on the floor and the wall. But the therapy itself is actually called halotherapy, which means inhalation. So you're breathing it in. So we have generators that pump dry, pharmaceutical grade salt into the air. It's crushed into microns, which about 0.3 of a micron particle sizes of salt, which is about the size of your pores. So when that's pumped into the air, your skin can absorb it. So it's great for eczema, psoriasis, and acne. But most importantly, you're inhaling this. So when you inhale it, it can get into the deep branches of the alveoli and work to express the mucus. So coughing, runny nose, that is common before, during and after a session, but that's the whole purpose of it. So 3 days at the beach is equivalent to 45 minutes in the salt room.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in the salt room, it's also a relaxing atmosphere,
Yes.
is it not?
Yes.
Yes,
So
okay.
the children's room, I mean, obviously it's more play. We have more hands-on stuff. The parents can relax. We do have chairs in them for them to relax while they watch their kids. It is free for parents to go in. We encourage that time with their child, and we discourage technology as much as possible while you're in there. But then the adult room, we do have leather recliners with complimentary blankets. We do keep it a little bit chilly in there, low humidity. So we do have those recliners where you can most people take naps. It's a great 45-minute nap.
Tom and I would go into the kids' room.
It's
Probably
fun.
where I belong,
It's fun.
yes.
Digging that salt, it's fun.
So talk about common, conditions that might want to use this. You talked about allergies. I mean, asthma. I mean, talk about some of the other conditions that one might want to use this therapy for.
Absolutely. We have seen remarkable results with COPD. I just can't even begin to tell you the results we've seen with COPD. So allergies, asthma, COPD, sinusitis is huge. A lot of us have sinusitis. Cystic fibrosis, sleep apnea. I mean, I hate to say it's not a cure-all, but there are so many things that can be covered by this therapy. Whether it's an acute condition like a cold, We recommend, 2 to 5 days consecutively for those sessions to really keep it from settling in the lungs or the nasal cavity, trying our best to avoid those antibiotics. And then if it's a chronic condition, we start to recommend a couple times a week, depending on the stage and severity of the condition, to really build up till you get to a maintenance dose. So that way, you don't have to keep running to that inhaler, or we had one client with COPD that was so severe. She has stayed with us the 2 years that she started coming because she got her life back. I mean, she's able to go on cruises again. She's able to breathe again. She, can sleep through the night now. So
we talk an awful lot about healthy lifestyles today, and to Greg's point, I'll probably stop by for chicken wings or a pizza on the way home tonight. But my children, really, have taken on a healthy lifestyle. My children, they really pay attention to what they're eating. No wasted calories. No sodas. With this movement to a healthy lifestyle, is salt therapy something that could just be, that's regular maintenance, that could be part of that healthy lifestyle?
Oh, absolutely. So we know that the health and wellness industry is actually larger worldwide, is a higher income, or more dollars are spent, billions of dollars are spent in health and wellness now than pharmaceuticals. So that's an amazing advancement in this industry. Salt therapy is definitely something that even the insurance companies are starting to looking to incorporate, like an acupuncture.
Boy, is that big.
It is huge. It is huge. So like acupuncture and chiropractic care is now, it has been looked at, I should say, for quite some time by the insurance companies as a therapy that a lot of them will cover. So salt is gaining that ground too. There's not as much research on it as we would like. Again, that costs a lot of money, and we're not quite there, but I think it definitely will be there.
We're seeing actually, a number of folks coming in. A year or so ago, I worked with an individual with that had the float therapy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting. When we first met with him, it was really kind of cutting edge, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing that now. There, I see that the float therapy, businesses. I was in Jacksonville not too long ago, and there was a float therapy store. And, I've met with a number of folks that, yoga and Pilates instructors who are looking to open up, their own businesses and their studios. So there really is this move to kind of, for entrepreneurs to get in this health and wellness industry. We're seeing a lot more, activity in that industry.
Oh, absolutely. We have actually a new one that just opened just around the corner from myself, with cryotherapy and infrared therapy. Wow. And those are just amazing therapies. And most people don't even know that cryotherapy is the number one in eczema and psoriasis, the cure. Just being able to utilize a therapy like that can actually help them more than medication, more than a steroid or topical cream or a salt room. It's pretty impressive.
Do you actually have some other treatments? Do you talk about the treatments that you do beyond just the salt room itself?
Sure, absolutely. We do have, our main focus is the salt rooms. We do have a Chinese physician on staff, Dr. Rochelle Tetro, and she does acupuncture, cupping, gui sha, specific herbal formulas, all of that good stuff. We also offer natural-based aesthetics, and we also carry our own line of essential oils and CBD roll-ons that we've created ourselves. So we have sourced from organic or wild-grown farms. We have a great contact out of New York that actually puts this together for us, and we raise the vibrational frequency in our oils by using gemstones. So as a science teacher myself, this fascinates me. This is my favorite part of it. So, and they're affordable. A lot of these oils today, they say if you want superb quality, you really have to spend big bucks, and that's just simply not true. A lot of these companies have a middleman, and so there's multiple sources that need that income. So we try to keep everything economically based for our clients, so everything is affordable.
What about, so often we see, folks getting involved in these types of businesses because they're innovative. It's new technology. It's a niche market, and then eventually you sort of see corporate America. The one that comes to mind is massage therapy. So often you have the small operator, the masseuse and the massage therapy. Now all of a sudden you have massage envy, which is, corporate player. Are there corporate players in the salt therapy business yet?
Yes, there are we're starting to see that.
We don't want to advertise them, but just, yeah.
No, it's definitely starting to take roots with a franchise. Again, it's something that we're very particular about the quality, the customer service, and the culture we're building within. We're very concerned with the cleanliness. We're very concerned with a lot of different things that maybe a corporate or franchise would miss a little bit.
What is your business model in terms of a patient or a client? Is it a membership model? Can I pay
Absolutely.
one time and come as many times as I want? Kind of how does the model work at your store?
Absolutely. So growing up here, I knew that we had to make it something that would be affordable for everyone. So we have memberships available. Our most popular membership is $99 for the month, and you can come unlimited.
Wow.
So as many salt sessions as you need to really get in there. So 2 sessions a day, 6 days a week, you can really knock something out. That being said, we also have $15 Fridays every Friday. Check us out on holidays. We offer free Tai Chi, free guided meditation. So there's a lot of things that we wanted to offer to the community to really help. I mean, we know that mental health is something that has started to become a focus in the last decade, and so we really want to support that growth as well.
Okay. I like that idea of maybe Mary and I'll come during spring break. We'll come on the $15 Friday and give it a try.
Yeah.
You're so extravagant.
I know. Yes. Open up the wallet.
Now Valentine's Day would have been great.
Yeah,
we had a lot of couples.
I never thought about
That's it. Yeah, that's cool.
We did.
Is so you join as a member, let's say, for the $99 a month. Is this a kind of a great way, like going to the gym in the morning? Would this be kind of a great way to start your day?
Absolutely. So a lot of autoimmune-based patients see tremendous results with salt. We're told not to ingest salt. It can raise blood pressure. But we're talking about table salt, iodized table salt when we talk about that. So I do want to say that it does not raise blood pressure. But number 2, our clients who have autoimmune see a reduction in inflammation. We also offer far infrared therapy while they're in the session. So if they wanted to add one of those mats to their session, they absolutely can. But our lupus patients, we've had patients, their lymph nodes haven't drained in 8 years. And she actually came in, I'm thinking of one client in particular, and she walked out and she's like, I haven't had this in 8 years. Like my lymph nodes just drained. So salt is a great anti-inflammatory. And most people don't know that. I mean, it's antifungal, antibacterial, but it is also anti-inflammatory. Hence why the Chinese actually use it in salt baths.
So, and talk about the anti-inflammatory. Is it would your therapy also work for joints? Like, you got the bad knees and they swell up at the end of every day. Is that it? Also would affect that?
So that would be more the far infrared therapy we utilize. We have a mat that gives off 700 cc's of negative ions in 45 minutes, 30 minutes. So you're really getting a really potent dose of that. That would be more of that therapy. That would really take away that knee pain. It's sciatic pain too.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
If you have sciatic pain, I recommend the mat and a chiropractor,
Nice.
a good chiropractor.
So let's talk a little bit about business here for a couple of minutes. You started this from the ground up, did you not?
I did. It was a little bit scary coming out of teaching.
I think you're being modest. This had to be this really had to be a kind of a big leap.
It was.
Because not only is it tough to start a business in general, but you were kind of groundbreaking with this concept. Did you feel that way?
Oh yeah. It didn't really hit me until probably a month and a half into the process, where I had to import the salt myself from Pakistan. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm importing 13,000 pounds of salt, and I have to get it through the port of Miami and then delivered to my door. How do I do this? So
good Lord, that's a whole show. Probably we could probably put a whole show around that. Incredible.
So the
DEA's out front, by the way.
Yeah.
So it was a blessing in disguise to be able to struggle my way through this process, because I learned so much, and I'm so thankful that it was hard to do this, because it taught me so much in this whole building up and
Wow.
what I would do different next time.
So how did you get contacts in Pakistan?
So oddly enough, social media is amazing. A gentleman who owned a salt room in Charlotte, North Carolina, who had been an acupuncturist in Boca Raton and moved up there to open one, found I had just started putting stuff online. I wasn't open, but I had started creating social media for us and building hype. He contacted me. He's like, hey, if you need any help, you let me know. So I know. So I was like, I need a contact for my salt. And he gave me a contact from Pakistan and said, use this guy. He'll hold your hand. He'll help you get through the port and get all your tariffs.
Well, and again, you make a great point too, one that we teach, in entrepreneurship. It really is about, understanding your competition, understanding what else is out there in the marketplace, and really some serious market research. And that's what you kind of did, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And you don't realize either, when you're going through something like this, is the community that you actually have around you of entrepreneurs who are willing to, what do you need? How can I help you? Do you need anything? And that's what I love about our community.
What about day-to-day challenges of running and owning and operating a business? I mean,
our biggest challenge would be our generator. We have 2 generators.
You can fix that. Checkbook will fix that.
I have learned how to use a Dremel very well. That salt gets kicked in there. But probably day to day, we really want to focus with our staff on leadership development. Most of our staff are college age. We have 2 IRSC students that work for us. And so we work around their schedule, and we just really want to make sure that we're instilling entree leadership type development in them, because we want to teach them how to lead, because one day we're going to set them up to lead.
Yeah, and that excellent point too. And you so often people just kind of take training and those kind of things for granted, but it is so important. I mean, because that's, we kind of, the slogan at CCTI is we train we work with your most important asset, your employees.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're kind of the front line, and they're dealing with with folks who are coming in really for a very unique experience. So it's not just everyone that can work in that environment.
Absolutely. And we know that if we take care of our staff, they're going to take care of our clients. And we want our clients to be number one. So this is the best way we found, is investing in them so they invest in our clients.
What are the hours? Back to my thought about starting my morning in the salt room. What are the hours of the facility?
So we are 10 to 6:30 Monday through Thursday. We are open 10 to 7:30 on Fridays, and then 10 to 5 on Saturday.
So kind of more come in at the end of the day, maybe for the stress reduction kind of concept?
We have a lot of retired people, I should say, a lot of retired people that come in. So for them, 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock are their favorite sessions. So those seem to fill up really fast. A lot of our, worker, people who are working 9 to 5 really will come in on Saturday.
Nice.
So,
how does one find out more about Southern Salt Therapies? I checked out the website, beautiful website, lots of good information, but how do we get there?
Sure. So besides southernsalttherapies.com, we are on all social media. We post up to 2 times daily, lots of specials, lots of giveaways we do on our social. So make sure you're following us, and you can contact us, 772-877-2677. 82128. We love to answer any questions, help you out from there, and that would be it.
Just in closing, kind of give us, you really did an incredible job of building a very innovative and incredible business. So give us your advice to that aspiring young lady out there who wants to start her own business.
Absolutely. You just have to step out and do it. Honestly, you have to know that you're not, I don't like the word fail. You're going to learn a lot if you just start now. So start prepping. If you need to start prepping financially, if you need to start prepping, whatever your dream and your goal is, write it down and start building the steps to get there. But start now. Don't wait.
All right, Laura, we're going to start using you at seminars and workshops. I can't think of
She's hired.
That's right. I can't think of a more unique and innovative and again, having to import salt from Pakistan, not quite the challenge for you to get this off the ground. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Great
Where
business.
are you located physically?
Oh, goodness. Yes,
Yeah,
we
good
need to
question.
talk about that. We are located across from Met Stadium in St. Lucie West in the West Park Plaza. Yep, front
Okay.
parking lot right by the stairs.
And normal hours are 10 to 6:30 kind of during the week.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Laura, thank you so much for taking time out. Congratulations. And again, very innovative business. And I can't wait to come down and I'm going to give it a try.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
going to the children's room, though. I'm going to play in the salt. With that, we'll bring to close another session of Small Biz Florida. I want to thank our guest tonight and remind everyone that all the business assistance programs and resources discussed on this segment are available through IRSC's Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute here at Indian River State College. And, of course, I want to thank all our team at the Florida SBDC at IRSC. And for more information on the Florida SBDC and its programs, you can always check out the irscbiz.com site. That's IRSCBIZ. And always want to thank our partners here, Greg and Carol, and here at WPSL, WSTU, and WPSL TV, and Small Biz Florida producer, Miss Katie Muldoon. With that, we'll talk to you next week on Small Biz Florida.
You've been listening to Small Biz Florida from the SBDC at IRSC on WPSL, Port St. Lucie, WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station.